Okay, in this video we're going to cover the vocabulary for the new chapter here. We're talking about transversals. If you had Mr. Harvey in 7th grade, a vast majority of you seem to remember this word, so this ought to be a relatively simple vocab word here. Transversal is a line which intersects two or more coplanar lines. So in the picture that we have on the left, we would say that line R is a transversal of lines P and Q. Now I said in class, and I meant it, that if P and Q are not parallel lines, then the transversal really is not that interesting. However, if P and Q are parallel, then there's a ton of geometry rules that apply to that. Okay? So we're really going to spend most of our time studying transversals of parallel lines. But transversal could apply to any line that intersects two other coplanar lines. Okay? On to what the transversal does. In this picture, line L is the transversal, and it forms 8 angles. I have numbered those angles 1 through 8 for convenience sake. There are 2 types of angles being formed here. First are the interior angles, which are the angles that are between the lines being transversed. So if you see, we've got P and Q, which are, in this case, parallel lines. So we're going to mark them as being parallel. See, those arrows mean parallel. And in between those 2 lines, we have 4 angles, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6 would be our interior angles. So angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6 are your interior angles. The other type are your exterior angles, which are the angles that are not between, the angles which lie outside of our lines being transversed. So up here above the 2 lines, there's 2 angles. Those are exterior angles. And below the 2 lines, there are 2 angles. Those are exterior angles. So our exterior angles would be angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. Now, more specifically, we're going to be looking at the relationships between angles at different points of intersection. So relationships between angles 1, 2, 3, and 4, one of those, and an angle from 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the first of those relationships is a vocabulary word, consecutive interior angles. Okay? Consecutive interior angles are a pair of interior angles which lie on the same side of the transversal. There are 2 sets of those in this picture. We have angle 3 and angle 5, and we have angle 4 and angle 6. And I'm going to color them so we can see them a little bit better. Okay, angles 3 and 5 are both on the left side of the transversal between the parallel lines, and angles 4 and 6 are both on the right side between the parallel lines. So that's one. Next vocabulary word is consecutive exterior angles. That would be a pair of exterior angles. And if I'm going too fast, just pause the video, catch up. Okay? Pair of exterior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. So again, there are 2 sets of those. We have angle 1 and angle 7, and we have angle 2 and angle 8. Once again, I'm going to mark those. We have angles 1 and 7, that's one pair, and angles 2 and 8, that is the other pair. Okay, next up we have alternate interior angles. Wording is going to be just a little bit different here. It still starts off with a pair, and that would be of interior angles, because interior is in the name, which lie on different sides of the transversal. And oh, by the way, they need to be at different points of intersection. Okay, so when we're looking at this, there are 2 sets of angles that would be called alternate interior angles in this picture. Angle 3 and angle 6 are at different points of intersection on different sides of the transversal. And angles 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles. So 3 and 6, that's one set, and 4 and 5, that's the other set. Okay, the final word in this grouping is alternate exterior angles, another vocab word, which is a pair of exterior angles which lie on different sides of the transversal, and again, they need to be at different points of intersection. Okay, we can't say 1 and 2 because we already have a name for that. Angles 1 and 2, they are on different sides of the transversal, but that's a linear pair. Those are not alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles would be 1 and 8 or 2 and 7. Once again, I'm going to mark those up so we can see them. 1 and 8, that's one set, and 2 and 7, that is another set. So we have alternate interior, alternate exterior, consecutive interior, consecutive exterior. The final vocab word is probably the most important one. That is the idea of corresponding angles. It's considerably harder to put into words. It would be a pair of angles. Notice I did not list interior or exterior because one of them will be interior and the other one will be exterior, which have the same orientation. I'll explain what I mean by that in just a moment, at different points of intersection. There are a total of 4 sets of corresponding angles in this picture. So if we look at the picture, we still have our numbered angles 1 through 8. Angle 1 corresponds to angle 5 at the other point of intersection. Okay? Angle 1 and angle 5 are both on the upper left of their points of intersection. That's what I mean by the same orientation. They're both on the upper left, which means the upper right would be a set. That's angle 2 and angle 6. The lower left would be a set. 3 is congruent to 7. Actually, I should be using and instead of congruent, so I'm just going to fix that real quick. Angles 1 and 5 are congruent. Angle 2 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 7, and angle 4 and angle 8 are sets of corresponding angles. Notice that 2 and 7 are both on, or 2 and 6 are both on the upper right, so they're corresponding. 3 and 7 are both on the lower left, so they're corresponding. And 4 and 8 are both on the lower right, so they are corresponding. I think that does it for our vocabulary. It does. So that does it for this video. Our next video will be short. It will cover the example. Thank you for your time.